Richard Mulcahy was a senior figure of the Irish Revolutionary period and of the transition into a democratic state. He was involved in 1916 through the War of Independence and into the Civil War. So he was Commander-in-Chief of the Army during the War of Independence and Minister of Defence then into the Civil War, and took over the command of the army after the assassination or the shooting of Michael Collins. He was a controversial figure and remains a controversial figure because of his involvement with the executions during the Civil War. And this file here is holds some of the original documents and copies of original documents to do with the executions of senior figures in the anti-treaty side of the Civil War. This document here outlines crimes, if that's the right word, for which people were sentenced to death. This document here is written in Mulcahy's own hand, and it outlines the reasons for the execution of Rory O'Connor, Liam Mellows, Joseph McKelvey and Richard Barrett in December 1922, following the murder of Sean Hale's TD. And this document here is a copy of the notification that those four would have received, notifying them of their executions. You, O'Connor, are hereby notified that, being a person taken in arms against the government, you will be executed at 8 a.m. on Friday the 6th of December as a reprisal for the assassination of Brigadier Sean Hale's TD in Dublin on the 7th of December, on his way to a meeting of Dáil Éireann, and as a solemn warning to those associated, you are engaged in a conspiracy of assassination against the representatives of the Irish people. Signed on behalf of the Army Council, Richard Mulcahy, General Commander-in-Chief. Richard Mulcahy went on to become a leading figure in Irish politics. He led Fine Gael until the late 1950s, but he stood aside as Taoiseach in the first inter-party government because of objections from Republicans who never really forgave him for the being a pro-treaty, to his pro-treaty stance. The reason why we digitised this collection with funding from the Department of Arts and Culture and from UCD is because of the span of this collection. It covers from at least 1916 right up until the 1960s. It covers the core revolutionary period, the transition into the democratic state. It is easily the most used collection in our archive, and it is one of the largest collections that we have. It is heavily used by researchers from Ireland, the UK, from the US and from Australia. The digitised, there's about 102 boxes of documents that translates into about 95,000 images. It took 6 months to digitise, 6 months to recatalogue with a team of 4 people to make it available in a format that we are working on in the moment to make it available on the digital library in UCD archives. So that's going to take us some time, but we will be making the digital images available in our reading room throughout the course of 2025.